I've been using Duolingo obsessively for almost 3 years. Recently, they've been pushing their AI chatbot for language practice, but $10 a month seems steep. So I decided to create my own solution using GPT-4, which Duolingo Max also uses. I started by experimenting with prompts in ChatGPT until I got satisfactory results. For the app, I used SwiftUI to prototype the interface, starting with hard-coded topics and simple prompts for conversations and feedback. I used special start and end tokens to make the UI a bit nicer, and so I could get GPT-4 to initiate the conversation like Bumble. Then, I added a way to add topics from within the app instead of hard-coding it, so I can have more degenerate conversations than what's available in Duolingo. Since I'm lazy, I also added a topic generator, also using GPT-4, to mass generate conversation topics, saving them with SwiftData. I added a language selector setting to change the language of the conversation, which really just changes a string in the prompt for the conversation a bit. Initially, I prototyped everything with GPT 3.5 because it was cheaper, but later added a switch to use GPT-4 for better feedback. For voice conversations, I utilized the built-in iOS text-to-speech function, enhancing it with premium voices to sound less robotic.
가족이 있다니 이해해요. 그런데 매일 조금이라도 연습하는 게 중요해요. 할 말이 더 있나요?
The final part was realizing that I wasn't actually good enough at Spanish to follow the conversation without also having to use Google Translate. So I added a hold to get translation on the received messages. This is actually also using GPT 3.5. Overall, it took around 10 hours over a month to complete. Was it worth it? Maybe not, as it doesn't earn Duolingo XP, but it does save me money while I practice begging for my life in Spanish.